What's happening, everyone? Doing another Glenallachie review. Here we have the Glenallachie 18-year-old. This is a 2021 bottling. So another one of Billy Walker's darker vattings, bottled at 46%, natural color, no chill filtration as usual, all that stuff that we all love. This has been breathing here now for about a good 10 minutes. And so far we have done the Glenallachie 25, we've done the Glenallachie 12, and here is the Glenallachie 18-year-old. This one retails for around, I believe, around $150 around where I live. So not cheap, but it is an 18-year-old scotch. So here we go. I just had the 12-year-old of this, and my main complaint was that it's tastes slightly manufactured, where it was perhaps casks that were a little bit weaker, that didn't have that richness, that fullness, and then you put them in a very active, rich sherry cask for about a year or so, and gives it nice color, but it doesn't completely, complete the product ultimately the way I would personally want. So here with the 18-year-old, knowing that with this color that it also has been re-racked, because Glenallachie was putting a much lighter product before Billy Walker joins, and as we know, the whiskeys become a lot more darker, suggesting that big, bold sherry that he is known for from his previous releases at other distilleries. This right away comes off with that classic Glenallachie minerality note, the kind of wet rocks minerality note. You combine that with the dried fruits, very classic as expected. Some plums, even some red apples. Some little bit of rum raisin. Some milk chocolate. Sultana. Touch of cinnamon spice. And a little bit of leather in the background. Definitely picking up a little bit more age in comparison to the 12-year-old, but not steering too far off, but just a little bit more amped up with age. Let's go palate. Right away, with these Glenallachie's, I get that mineral note right away. It's the first thing that comes to my mind. A little bit of that mineral note. Then the dried fruits come out. With this 18-year-old, you get a little bit more, certainly not bold and spicy, but a little bit more in the background. You get some of the cherry spice, cinnamon, sultana, plum, rum raisin, and a little bit of oakiness and leather in the background. So you could tell that, especially having them back to back, since I just had the 12, that this has a little bit more age on it. One more sip. Mineral right away. Leather. Dried fruits, especially plum. Dried raisin. There's a little bitter effect in the background. Almost a little bit of that like dusty book, but not quite that. But I know I use that note all the time. It's similar to that. A little bit of oats, just like dried oats. I guess that would kind of, suggest some maltiness. The milk chocolate on the nose definitely goes a little bit darker on the palate with the leather. Slight tobacco note. So more complex. The 18-year-old is definitely more complex. And I do want to bring something up. I think this 18-year-old is a little bit better than the 12-year-old. Where when I first had it, I preferred the 12-year-old. But with a little bit of air. And this has actually been open for a while. It's probably been open for at least 10 months. So I haven't had a lot of drams out of it. But it has been open. It has been breathing. And yeah, it is a solid whiskey, but the same as the 12. It's still not fully complete. I cannot help but to compare the Billy Walker Glendronachs to the Billy Walker Glenallachies. Not that they need to taste the same, but I'm talking about quality being the same. It does not have to, obviously, it's a different distillery. But in terms of quality. So I'm going to go with an 84 out of 100 for this 18-year-old. At $150, it's a skip for me. I think the 12-year-old is worth picking up. I think the 10-year-old is worth picking up. And I think the 25-year-old is worth picking up for the price. The 25-year-old is really where I think the product shines. I thought it was an excellent, excellent product. And for a 25-year-old Scotch at $400, I think it's worth it. It's really, really good. And I have yet to try the 21 and 30, which are the 2 cask strength ones. Those are the ones to ultimately try. And we will. We will try those and we will review those. But those will come. But for right now, I am extremely interested in what's to come. I am going to invest and continue to buy Glenallachies because I know what Billy Walker's doing, and I'm very excited to see what the future holds. So there we go. That's my review of the Glenallachie 18. I've had it with Mike, and I know he agrees as well. So there we go. Cheers, and we'll see you soon for many more.